Good evening, folks. Another beautiful sunny day was with us here in Searcy. Go ahead and take a look at your evening planner. We're expecting those same clear conditions tonight. Temperatures getting down into the middle 40s. Sunshine again for tomorrow. Will we see rain anytime soon? I'll have the answer coming up in your forecast. Your News at 5 starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to TV 16 News Live at 5. Today is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2009. I'm Amanda Ricks.
And I'm Katie Culp. Coming up, find out why Arkansas won't be able to go deer hunting.
And several homecoming events were postponed for bad weather. We'll have the details coming up.
Coming up on sports, the Lady Bison's volleyball team might take the conference title tonight, facing Henderson State University at the Rhodes Field House. A university football player was named the GSD Defensive Player of the Week. And a little recap of Monday Night Football action later in the show. Stay tuned. Back to you, Katie.
A carjacking suspect is recovering from a dog bite after a run-in with police in North Little Rock this afternoon. Floyd Wallace, 28, is accused of stealing a man's car at gunpoint from the Splash Car Wash on Pike Avenue just before 1 o'clock. His joyride came to an end when police were hot on his trail along East Washington Avenue, where officers say Wallace bailed out and crawled under a house. The K-9 officer called in to get Wallace out, but the man was bit, so he had to be taken to the hospital for treatment before going to jail. The carjacking victim was not hurt.
The jury selection process picked up again at 1:30 this afternoon in the Curtis Vance capital murder trial in Little Rock this morning. At least 6 people were interviewed, but none of them were placed on the jury. Vance appeared calm in the courtroom today, and 8 jury members were seated yesterday to hear the case of the Marianne man accused in the beating death of Little Rock TV anchorwoman Ann Presley. Jury selection proceedings got underway at 9:30 before breaking for lunch.
Some of Harding's homecoming events were postponed due to inclement weather. TV 16 Sarah Shaban is live in the newsroom with more details. Sarah?
That's right, Katie. A few homecoming events were postponed because of the consistent rain we've been having and thankfully are getting a break from. The Walking Society and H Humanities Walk for the Cure was one of the events affected by the rain. The walk was meant to spread awareness for swine flu while enjoying the last of October. Vice President of the Walking Society, J.T. Hill, hopes to reschedule the walk in conjunction with the annual homecoming bonfire, also postponed due to rain. So hopefully Stephen Goodale can bring us some good news for those events. For TV 16 News, I'm Sarah Shaban. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sarah. And 2 trailers and 1 truck reported stolen from Conway late last month have been found in Florida and Mississippi. Conway police say the trailers were carrying Kimberly-Clark feminine hygiene products worth more than $4,500,000. They were stolen October 24th from a distribution center. The trailer found in Miami on Thursday was empty, but the one found in Marshall County, Mississippi on Friday still contained the merchandise. The truck it was attached to when stolen was found 20 miles away, but the truck that was pulling the other trailer is still missing. Police have not yet identified any suspects in the thefts.
White River National Wildlife Refuge and all-out tracks are closed to deer hunters due to an early flood season. The lands are off limits for hunting in order to ensure hunter safety. The current and projected flood levels will keep the refuge closed for deer archery hunting in the North Unit as well. The refuge closed to deer hunting when the White River reached 23 feet at St. Charles, and a spokesperson said it will not reopen until the level falls below 21 feet.
And state health officials say more than 170,000 doses of seasonal and swine flu vaccines were given in the mass flu clinics around Arkansas late last week. The state health department says that nearly 150,000 doses of the seasonal flu vaccine and close to 24,000 doses of the vaccine against swine flu, now that's also known as the H1N1 strain, were given to Arkansans on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, however, because of the extreme shortage of the swine flu vaccine, those doses were limited to children 6 months to 4 years, children 5 to 18 with underlying medical conditions, and pregnant women were included. When Arkansas gets more of the swine flu vaccines, it will continue to be given to those priority groups first.
26 Arkansas counties are struggling to get back on their feet after heavy rains. That's why U.S. Senators Blanche Lincoln and Mark Pryor and other representatives called on the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Agriculture to make a disaster designation today. They say months of record rain and extensive flooding have devastated crops, placing the livelihoods of Arkansas farmers and ranchers at risk. The designation would allow farmers and ranchers to be eligible for emergency loans.
Pine Bluff firefighters remain on the scene of a fire that has already overtaken 3 downtown stores. Officials arrived at the 100 block of Main Street around 6:30 this morning to find several downtown buildings in flames. Fire crews spent the morning battling the fire that destroyed a popular local restaurant. Authorities say 3 other buildings are at risk of being damaged by the fire.
And we have breaking news that Little Rock police are currently investigating an officer's involvement in a shooting at 5915 Carlisle Drive. Few details have been released. The scene is near Geyer Springs Road and the Windermere Plaza Shopping Center in southwest Little Rock. The shootings happened around 2:30 this afternoon.
Both the lower White River and the Ouachita River are continuing to rise and are now raising worries of potential flooding. The National Weather Service in North Little Rock says the White River will continue rising through the end of the week. It is expected to crest at 25 feet in Georgetown, and that is in White County, on Thursday. The river is expected to reach 29 feet in Prairie County by Friday, and the major flood stage is 30 feet. And the Ouachita River rose above major flood staging yesterday to 83 feet, and it is forecasted to rise above 85 feet by Friday and will keep rising into the weekend. There are at least a dozen homes that are threatened.
And coming up after the break, Director Roman Polanski wants out of jail.
And gas prices are on the rise once again. We'll have more on that when we come back.
I'm at work. My daughter's school is 2 blocks away. That would be a very convenient meeting place for all of us.
We'd meet up at his parents' house.
A meeting place? Not really.
My husband would definitely pick up the girls from school.
I would want to make sure that she has the girls or is on her way to get the girls.
I know that there's a plan, but I don't know what the plan is.
My Youth for Understanding experience was the best thing I've ever done in my entire life.
If you want to learn a language, this is how you do it.
You meet an whole new family that are willing to accept you and take you in.
You only live once, so you do it, try it, live it. Go global!
The father of a church-going family killed his wife and his 2 teenage children on Monday before committing suicide. Police say William Maxwell was a real estate developer known as an active member of his church in Fayetteville, North Carolina, as well as in his children's religious high school. The whole family was appreciated by their neighbors, who say they had no suspicion of anything before the crime took place. Authorities are unaware of a motive at this time, but are continuing an investigation. The police have gathered evidence from the family's home, but have yet to release any details about the crime scene.
Roman Polanski has reappealed to the Swiss courts to be released from prison on bail. Officials said today the move comes from the latest step in the director's protracted legal battle to avoid extradition to the United States. The Swiss criminal court declined to comment on the contents of the appeal, but the Justice Ministry said it was an offer that the government has already turned down, in part because it lacked a cash guarantee. The 76-year-old filmmaker has suffered a string of setbacks since he was arrested September 26 in Zurich as he arrived to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from a film festival. Authorities in Los Angeles want him extradited for having sex with a 13-year-old girl in 1997. Swiss authorities says his detention could stretch out for months if he appeals extradition to the Swiss criminal courts and, if needed, the Supreme Court.
Oil prices rose Tuesday as the Federal Reserve began a two-day policy meeting on interest rates. Since oil is largely bought and sold in dollars, investors holding stronger currencies can buy more crude for less and have done so in recent months. This has sent the price of benchmark crude above $80 near the end of October. Though the central bank isn't expected to take any action on interest rates, statements issued after such meetings can hint at the Fed's take on the state of the economy. The average price for a gallon of regular gasoline fell a half a penny overnight to $2.68, according to Wright Express and Oil Price Information Service. That's 22.5 cents more than a month ago and 27 cents more than gas costs at this time last year.
And signs of an economic recovery may be an indication from reports that show increase in orders for factors and shrinking inventories. Commerce Department numbers show factory orders rose 0.9% in September. Now that's stronger than expected result. It represents the 5th month out of 6 that orders increased. Global Chief Economist James O'Sullivan called it a solid rise in orders, saying they are constant with manufacturing growth again. Meanwhile, inventories fell for the 13th month in a row for September. Now that's the longest stretch of declining inventories since the indicator fell 15 months in a row beginning in February of 2001.
Just a year ago, Barack Obama made history becoming the first African-American elected president. On this election day, it'll be his first test to see how long his coattails really are and how several key races across the country will turn out. Sandra Endo is at a polling site in Alexandria, Virginia, where a closely watched race for governor is being played out. She joins us now with a complete look at the day's races. Sandra?
Last year, Virginia was smitten with then-candidate Barack Obama. But in this election, it seems it's taking some work to motivate those voters.
You're going to be looking at the next governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. 3 days.
The Democratic candidate for Governor, Creed Deeds, is struggling against Republican Robert McDonnell.
Until the polls close, my friends, sleep is an overrated habit.
I've come to say thank you for your efforts so far.
In New Jersey's governor's race, it's neck and neck between incumbent Democrat Jon Corzine.
I feel like we've got a lot of momentum come from behind.
And Republican challenger Chris Christie. A year ago, the state delivered a double-digit win for Mr. Obama. The president has made a number of campaign appearances for Corzine, hoping for a Democratic win. In a congressional race in Republican-rich upstate New York, third-party candidate conservative Doug Hoffman and Democrat Bill Owens are duking it out after the moderate Republican candidate pulled out and backed the Democrat.
They may not have any room for moderate views in the Republican Party upstate anymore, but let me assure you, we have room.
However the races play out today, the White House is already softening what could be a political blow if Democrats lose key races. There are a number of mayoral races taking place as well in Atlanta, New York City, Houston, and Boston. And in this off-election year, turnout will be key, especially among independents who could really sway the vote. In Alexandria, Virginia, I'm Sandra Endo.
Police discovered a 7th body at the Cleveland, Ohio home of a convict rapist arrested this weekend. Anthony Sowell was arrested Saturday after the decomposing bodies of women were found at his residence. Police arrested the 50-year-old Sowell 2 days after discovering the decomposing bodies of 5 females inside his home and another woman's body outside the home. Authorities found the first 2 bodies while trying to serve an arrest and search warrant on Sowell related to his sexual assault investigation. An intense search began soon after. Sowell was not home at the time, but Officers found him after a tipster told them of his whereabouts. Sowell was convicted of an 1989 rape and was imprisoned from 1990 to 2005.
Stephen, the weather this week has been amazing and I am loving it, so please tell me it's here to stay.
Well, there is more where that came from, and we'll talk about that coming up after the break. But first, let's talk about what today held for us. Let's check the almanac. Absolutely beautiful out there. Temperatures in the middle 60s for highs, 50s for lows, so a beautiful day. We're going to get cool tonight. I'll tell you just how low we'll go coming up after the break.
How would you like to save your life from an ugly, reckless driving death? Don't answer yet! There's more! Act now by slowing down, and we'll guarantee you complete satisfaction! That's awesome!
In the real world, there is no spokesperson to prevent reckless driving. There's only you. Speak up.
Whoa, Andy, slow down.
Christopher, your word is SIPC.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
In the unlikely event that your brokerage firm goes out of business, SIPC is there to protect you.
SIPC. C-I...
Don't know about SIPC, the Securities Investor Protection Corporation? That's okay. We can spell it out for you. Learn more at www.sipc.org.
All right, welcome back. We're going to start by talking about some river flooding. Minor river flooding does still exist on the White River, as you heard a few minutes ago in the news stories. 23.5 the current stage, flood stage, 21 feet, so we're above flood stage, but we're in that minor category for flooding. The river is expected to crest at 25 feet sometime near the end of the week and begin slowly receding once again. But hey, this morning was a chilly one. We saw 36 at Gilbert, 38 in Jonesboro, and then 40s up to the north near Fayetteville, Batesville, and Morrilton, and another cool one expected for tonight. Right now here at the airport, 60 degrees, 39 your dew point, so that cold front really did help usher in some drier air, east-northeast wind at 7. We've been mostly windy all day. Gusts to around 20 have been reported out at the airport. Temperatures, though, right now all across the state in the 50s and 60s. 60 right there in Little Rock, 59 in Mountain Home, 57 in Jonesboro, 59 in West Memphis, and then back to the west, 61 in Russellville, 64 in Hot Springs, 61 also showing up at Mount Ida. So we're very, very nice this hour. And it's all thanks in part to that high pressure that's built in and moving in some cooler air from the north. Just a series of cold fronts will move in. No rain likely with these, just lower of temperatures. All throughout the Gulf South, very, very nice skies. No real clouds to speak of, and that will be the same story over the next few days. So for tonight, clear and crisp and chilly, 44 your low temperature. For tomorrow, expect temperatures in the middle and upper 60s, warm, not a cloud in the sky, north winds 4 to 8 miles per hour. You can check my blog anytime, stevensweatherblog.blogspot.com. Here's the next 5 days. Temperatures near 70 tomorrow. Another front moves through the area on Thursday. No real chance for rain. Friday and Saturday, we look to get back into the 70s with the clouds returning on Sunday and possibly a slight chance for rain on Sunday. That's a look at your weather. Floor will be up next with your sports.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college.
there are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go to knowhowtogo.org.
Welcome back. The Lady Bisons are taking on Henderson State University tonight. The game will take place at the Roadfields House at 7 p.m. The Lady Bisons head into the match after their victory over Monticello last Thursday with a 25-6 overall record and a 9-1 in the Gulf South Conference. Harding currently sits in the top spot in the West Division with 3 teams tied for second. Henderson State, Arkansas Tech, and Arkansas Monticello each have a 7-3 record in the GSC play. This match will decide if the GSC title is staying at Harding University. After the match, the Lady Bisons will be recognizing 3 seniors for their dedication and hard work. Christian Brothers has scored 2 goals in each half and defeated Harding 4-0 in non-conference men's soccer action yesterday at Collierville, Tennessee. It was the season finale for the Bisons. The Bucks, with a 7-8-2 record, will move on this weekend's Gulf South Conference tournament, where they are number 3 seed and will meet number 2 Alabama Huntsville in the semifinals. Harding will miss out on the tournament for the first time in the last 3 seasons. On Bison's football, Harding University redshirt freshman Kennard Henderson was named Gulf South Conference Defensive Player of the Week on Monday, following his performance in the Bison's 27-22 victory over Henderson State on Saturday. Henderson is the second Harding defender to claim weekly accolades this season. He racked up a career-high 14 tackles, including 7 solo stops. Henderson also forced a fumble and recovered another, returning it 50 yards for a touchdown. It was Harding's first defensive touchdown of the season and gave the Bisons a 21-10 lead in the third quarter. This 50-yard return was the 6th longest in his school history and the longest since Tank Daniels' 79-yard return against Missouri Southern in 2004. Lights, camera, action. A Harding University student is using his talents to produce a news sports show and improve his skills before graduating. TV16's Stephen Goodell explains.
Every Monday night at about 7:30,
really
the studio comes alive again with analysis, statistical breakdown, and in-studio guests. What is the name of your show and how long have you been doing it?
Our show's called This is Bison Football. We started it, well, we tried to start it after week 1, technical difficulties. Tried to do it after week 2, technical difficulties. Finally got it on the ground week 3, and it's progressed and it's gotten a lot better each and every week. Well, this is kind of my passion. This is, if I could do this for a living, it would be my dream come true. I love football, I love sports talk television, so it's kind of a combination of 2 of my favorite things. And I really just had a lot of free time, not a lot of classes, and I was like, what's something I could do that would, help me, prepare for my future and also be entertaining and a lot of fun to do. And
This is Bison Football is not the first show of its kind. Carragher says he got the idea from a show done several years ago.
A show like this had been around before. Zach Crow used to do the Stampede. Derek Glover hosted it, and I filled in for that before, and I really liked it. And I kind of took that and looked at ways I could improve it and kind of make it my own.
Carragher hopes that one day the skills gained from doing this show will help him in his professional career.
Everything I do right here, I pretty much turn and try to put on my resume tape. There's only so much a stand-up or sitting at a desk at a news station or a news set can get you as far as getting a job. This really shows kind of my creativity and a wider range of my abilities than just standing in front of a camera. It shows my ability to ad-lib, my ability to write, my ability to produce.
Although Carragher is trying to develop his own unique style, he compares his style to that of Kenny Mayne.
I really enjoy Kenny Mayne on ESPN just because my sense of humor and my kind of wit is real dry, and I like sarcasm a lot, and he's very good at it, and he kind of incorporates it into his broadcast, and I would love to be able to do the same thing, and I've tried to work on it, and it's tough to take that step and kind of find the fine line between funny and sarcastic and serious and not going to being goofy.
Be sure to catch all the action right here on TV16 Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 and midnight. Reporting for TV16 News, I'm Stephen Goodale.
And on Monday Night Football, New Orleans Saints took over the Atlanta Falcons 35-27. This victory helped the Saints to improve their records to 7-0 and put the Falcons down 4-3. Only the 1991 Saints began a season with as many wins, and no Saints team has ever started 8-0. If you missed the game, here's a little recap for you. Drew Brees had a 308 yards passing. Pierre Thomas scored 2 touchdowns, and Greer returned an interception for a score. Greer's touchdown was the Saints' 5th scored on an interception this season, tying a single-season franchise mark set in 1998. Tracy Porter also had an interception in the Saints' 1-yard line on a pass tip by Jonathan Vilma in the 4th quarter, preserving a 28-24 lead after Thomas' fumble had given the Falcons the ball on the Saints' 35. Atlanta quarterback Matt Ryan was intercepted 3 times, the 3rd straight game he had been intercepted at least twice. Still, the Falcons stayed in it until the end, getting a 40-yard field goal from Jason Elam with 28 seconds left. Ryan only had time for a desperation heave in the final seconds, and Darren Sharper turned it into his 7th interception of the season. Sharper's interception also was the Saints' 16th overall this season, surpassing New Orleans' total of 15 from 2008. The Saints now need one more win to set record for the best start in their franchise history. Concerns grown over 3 missing college softball players after the search of North Dakota Lake, where they were often went stargazing, turned up and no sign of them. The 3 women students at Dickinson State University in North Dakota, whose ages range from 20 to 22, vanished Sunday night. A friend reported getting 2 phone calls from the women late that evening. The caller mentioned water and indicated they needed help before the line went dead. Exact details of what was said were not released by police. Dickinson police said the 2 telephone calls were received about a minute apart before the line cut out both of the times. Police have refused to speculate on what might have happened to the trio. That's all with sports by now. Back to you, Amanda.
Okay, thank you, Flor. And the Best Buy company is trying to nudge consumers away from its stores' DVD aisles by making it easier for them to rent and buy movies over high-speed internet connections. The largest U.S. retailer of consumer electronics is setting up its digital delivery service in partnership with Cinema Now, which has deals with the major movie studios. The software making it possible to shop Cinema Now's video library will be included on all the web-connected devices sold in Best Buy's more than 1,000 U.S. stores. That means consumers who buy flat panel TVs, Blu-ray players, personal computers, and mobile phones from Best Buy will be able to get downloads of videos the same day they are released on DVD.
Everything is more convenient every single day. I love it.
Well, I mean, you can read the newspaper on your iPhone or your BlackBerry.
Yeah, have you seen those Sony things where you...
The Kindle?
Yeah, where you download the book. I don't know what they're called,
awesome.
but...
Yeah, the Kindle.
So cool.
They're awesome.
Yep. So do you want to give us a quick recap of our weather?
If you'll take a look at the weather, you'll see sun in the forecast throughout the weekend. And then to end the weekend, we're looking for some clouds to come back into the picture, maybe a chance of rain. The models haven't really mapped that out yet, but as we get closer to it, we'll be able to let you know when the rain will re-enter the forecast. Temperatures getting back into the middle 70s, so it's definitely not feeling like fall around here.
Okay, and Flora said the weather will be pretty for this weekend for sports.
Exactly, and tonight the Lady Bisons have the most important game. They might take the conference tonight over Henderson, so it will be an awesome game. Really, really excited. And it's senior day for the Lady Bisons volleyball team, so they're expecting you and your support.
Check it out. Okay, well, thanks for joining us tonight on TV 16's Live at 5 for all your news, sports, and weather. Tune in tomorrow night.
And from all of us here at TV 16, have a great night.